my channel. I am currently on my way to work. But hello, if you are new here, I am Karina and I am an SLPA sharing speech, my family, and lifestyle here on YouTube. I want to share with you guys how to make a speech schedule, kind of like a draft. Do keep in mind though, this is not the only way to do it. There are so many other, ways to go about it, especially if you've been doing it for a few years in one particular setting. Okay, hopefully this works. Hello! Please keep in mind, you will be making more than one speech schedule throughout the year. And this kind of goes for any setting, I want to say, but do also keep in mind that I work for the school setting. This is my 4th year going into the school setting. So if this is you, this is definitely the video you want to watch. I remember I found myself Googling kind of how to go about setting up groups, how do I schedule groups and stuff. It may seem kind of obvious, but to some it may also seem like super stressful. And I was definitely one of those people who found just so many things to do at the beginning of the school year. So I'm very much a lister and like a to-do list type of person. I need to visually see it and write it down to get things off of my mind, or else my mind's just all over the place and things don't end up getting done. So number one, I want you to print out a list of all the students you're going to see. This could be kinder through 5th grade, kinder through 12th grade, only middle school, only high school. All the schools you serve or whatever it is, make a list and make copies of that, because I guarantee you, you're going to be crossing out students. You're going to be making notes next to them. You're going to group people on these sheets. You want copies for all of that. After you have this list of students, I also would recommend you kind of make a list of maybe the number of students you have per grade level, maybe how many language, how many fluency, how many articulation kids. All of that is just good to know things. Personally, I like seeing that so that when it comes time to making groups and making my schedule, I know generally where I want to group them. Remember, there's definitely more than one way to make a schedule. You don't have to follow my directions word by word. There's ways you could group them by grade level. You can group them based off of their goals. Like I mentioned earlier, all articulation together. Maybe you want all fluency, so that the activities and the planning comes a little bit easier. I find it the easiest to do it by grade level. And this is because when it comes time to make changes for the schedule, because I said you're gonna make it more than one time, right? You wanna collaborate with teachers and kind of see what works for them in the future. So if you're having to move around, let's say Johnny, who's in 5th grade, but you have him in a fluency group and it works well for everybody else, and then you have like other 5th graders scattered in different groups, well now it's like, oh, 5th grade has, I don't know, a big test coming up, so I have to move them all around. I just find grade levels easier, also work well with like their lunch times, their recess times. I have a general idea of all these times. But you have the list of kids and you kind of have like a number of, articulation or fluency or a number for each grade level. You have an idea generally of, okay, let's say I have 30 kids at this campus on this day. How many can I see per 30 minutes? And this will depend on you. Do you want a big lunch break? Do you want an hour? Do you want a 30-minute lunch break? Do you not have time for a lunch break? That's a big factor. I always try to keep in mind I do want a lunch, but I realistically don't have the time if I want to give my attention to the kids that need it. So now that, again, you have your list and you have like some numbers written down, right, for your own reference, this is where you want to start looking at their goals. You want to determine whose goals are not like the others, who might need some individual time, or who needs to be seen more often. For example, like I mentioned, Johnny, 5th grader, we're going to say he needs to be seen for 45 minutes 2 times a week, for example. So if everyone else is being seen for 30 minutes 2 times a week, I have to fit Johnny somewhere for 45 minutes. So it's very likely I'm going to schedule him individually because he has goals, or he has that frequency that doesn't match everyone else's. You know what I mean? So I already know Johnny's going to be individual. That's one individual session. I'm going to note that down somewhere on a sticky note in my papers, wherever. Note that has to be an individual session. That's what works for me. Now, again, going into my 4th year as an SLPA, I already know who needs to be individual based off of behavior, based off of goals, based off of, their lack of progress, maybe in a group setting, who doesn't work well with so-and-so, who doesn't work well with Johnny. who needs my undivided attention for 30 minutes? So that's what I have to jot down immediately. Let's say I now know I have to have 6 groups and maybe 4 individual. So that's 10 slots I need to make in my day. So now I can do 30 minutes here, 30 minutes there, plan for a 15-minute break here. You kind of go about that as needed. After you have your list of students, you want to write down, again, individual versus group. How many do you think you can work out? Now that you have that number, kind of your individual and your group, what you want to aim for, now you want to start looking into the grade level schedule. This is why we're going to go back to that list of, if you have 5th grade, how many 5th grade, how many 6th, how many 4th, 3rd, because this is where it comes into play. I have to look at the grade level schedules. This is kind of like their master schedules, right? You're going to see when is recess for 3rd grade, when is lunch, and when is specials. I write this down several ways because I want to visually be able to see when I can and when I cannot see certain grade levels. For example, I know 12:30 to 1:30 specials time for, let's say, 3rd grade. That's a time I am going to see 3rd grade. It's a time I can see them. If after specials from 12:30 to 1:30, now they have lunch at 1:30 to 2, and then 2 to 2:30 is recess, that's a whole hour I cannot see them. That's a big block. I'm going to put an X on. 3rd grade, not at this time. Absolutely not. It gets so messy and I'm so sorry. This is just the way my brain works. And again, it's what works for me. You don't have to do it this way. These are kind of tips to get you going and get you kind of a to-do list for you to make a schedule. That should kind of help you out. After you have that, you might be able to do a rough draft. And this for me takes multiple times to do. I might have it one rough draft and I make sure I print it out. If I have all my 30 kids already in my, 4 individual and 6 groups, I have them all down now. I'm going to print that out, again, make at least 2 copies just for my reference. And I start going around to the teachers that need to be notified. If I'm pulling Johnny out of specials, I'm probably not going to notify the teacher, hey, I'm pulling Johnny out of specials, because it doesn't really affect them. It's not something they have to stop their class for and remember that I see them on Monday and Wednesday and Friday. So I don't do that. I will maybe send an email and say, hey, Johnny's going to be pulled out during specials at this time on this day. But yes, like I said, the rough draft, I'm making copies of that. And I'm going around to the teachers and asking them at this point, does this time work for you? Hey, I want to see Johnny at 10 o'clock. Does this time work for you? I know it's during construction. I know this may be during instruction time, but is this an okay time? And then based off of what they tell me, hey, no, maybe 10 o'clock doesn't work. Try during 8 a.m. Okay, so I take that draft I've already done and I make little arrows, make my notes that make sense in my brain. After I've gone around with teachers and shared this schedule, I usually, I've made all these notes. I do try to make another rough draft that has worked for everyone. It doesn't always work for everyone, and that's understandable, but I try to make it work with teachers because, they're the ones with the instruction that they have to do and they have a lot on their plate. So I try to make it the easiest as possible for them. After I've gone to the teachers and kind of asked what works for them, now is when I'll make another draft, and hopefully this is the last one. It very likely won't be. But I also try to keep in mind, if I have a big open slot, for 30 minutes or an hour or something, I don't generally schedule, like a break or something in there because I know things will come up. So I try to keep, is the key word. I try to keep one 15-minute, 30-minute, 45-minute, even an hour. I try to make one slot open for changes. I hope the video made sense. I do a lot of this the first week of school, and then typically I don't distribute schedules until the second week of school. It just is what it is. It's a lot of going back and forth and seeing what works for the kids, seeing what doesn't, and it's a lot of just trial and error. You have to really be patient in this time. But you're hoping that it works out the way you want to, right? I hope you found this video helpful. If you did, please make sure to give my video a like and subscribe to my channel as well. It'll mean so much to me. I will catch you all in my next one. Bye.